So, Andrew, what is your art hot take?
Honestly, especially in modern art,
How do you feel about that?
I
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Aeolus podcast. My name is Molly Siracusa. I'm going to be your podcast host for now until the end of the semester. And today I am joined with a very special Andrew Medearis. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today.
thank you for letting me on the show. I'm excited, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. We're so excited to have you. So for those of you who don't know, Andrew is our Artist of the Month for the month of February. He was featured in Aeolus Volume 14 for his story, Ben and John's Time Mutator. That is also what he won Artist of the Month for this month. So really quick, Andrew, give me like a brief overview of like your insight or like what you were thinking writing the story. What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, I've really enjoyed sci-fi, science fiction stories and movies about time travel. For example, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, the film adaptation of Peabody's Improbable History, which was based off the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. Back to the Future trilogy, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I was really inspired by those stories, and I wanted to take my own spin on the classic time travel story and how time travel gone wrong.
Gotcha. So why time travel specifically? Because whenever I feel like anyone else thinks of time travel, they always think of the butterfly effect, and
Yeah,
there's so much that can go wrong.
Yes, I was inspired by the subplot in Back to the Future Part 2, where Marty McFly got an I'm from the future, and his father's adversary Biff takes the thing from the future and predicts major sports things and got rich and corrupt.
And like one of the things, I know we were talking a little bit about it before we started filming. I kind of questioned why you made it like the mentor student dynamic rather than maybe like two partners or two brothers just like bashing heads. And then you said it was because of your love for Back to the Future. You like that dynamic.
I wanted Ben to be roughly a younger man, but I wanted him to like be like in his early 20, like in his 20s, while Jonathan, he's not changed at all. He's like more, he didn't change at all, like Dr. Emmett Brown. So
Yeah, because I mean we do kind of see it of like the Ben, you see like the young, the full of ideas. I want to change the world. I want to fix everything.
mm-hmm.
But then you see the contrast of, hey, don't do that. You're gonna like ruin society.
Like a character conflict,
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and it felt. You mentioned Orwell's 1984.
Yeah.
Is that like one of your favorite books? Is that like one of like a big inspiration to you? I know a lot of people rave about it.
Well, honestly, I have never read it.
What?
Yeah, and that's I know what 1984 is about. It's a different society. The other major dystopian novel I've read was Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451.
See, I've never read that one, but I heard it's like the similar kind of like societal.
Screens take over society and books are no more.
Oh, wow.
Like the firefighters, instead of taking care of people, helping them get out of collapsing buildings, the firemen burn the books. That's what happens in Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451.
Oh my word. So did you take anything from like Fahrenheit 451 into this, or was it just pretty much strictly the Back to the Future, the science stuff?
Well, I wanted like a dystopian society. Like I wish I had more time to develop. I wish I had more words to develop it into more of a dystopian society, but I think I basically explained it. And I wanted it to be like Fahrenheit 451, the ideal, like I wanted, like, I wanted like how dystopia would be I want it, well, without any major technology, you didn't really computers developed during the war years, and
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
without the war, nothing would have happened essentially.
So do you think that in like overall, your personal opinion, do you think technology did more harm than good?
Honestly, with how we've been able to stop ourselves from destroying the world with atomic bombs, I feel like it's done. I feel like it's done more good,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like stop ourselves, and we're not to dystopia, where we've been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, because now I feel like with AI, it's kind of like a different, more like attainable beast, almost in a way, where it's like you're not going to go next door to your neighbor and they're going to have an atomic bomb in their garage. Like that's just like, but the use of AI and you see it like scamming, like older people, like all of that, I think that maybe is something that I'm just a little more hesitant about. How do you feel about that?
I am. I'm kind of, to be honest, somewhat afraid, but
Mm-hmm.
we just need to figure out a way to. We just need to not use it. We just need to enhance it. We don't need it to replace us.
Well, and I kind of feel like it's almost parallel in your story here of we have this technology, but how do we use it
Yeah.
responsibly without like ruining people's lives
Yes.
or like completely messing up, in this case, the whole like society or the human race as a whole even. I feel like there's a lot of contrast there. So is that kind of what you were going for in your writing?
I wasn't trying to like do anything about artificial intelligence. I wanted to like make a story similar to Back to the Future, specifically Part 2, where
Gotcha.
Marty's carelessness results in a distorted dystopian Hill Valley.
So as far as Ben's, like alternate Ben's disappearance, was that kind of your way to saying that growth requires sacrifice?
Yes, to be honest, I didn't want like I didn't want alternate Ben and real Ben to be in the same timeline, because it would be very illogical, shall I say?
Yeah.
Like about like a paradox.
And also kind of hard to write too, right? Like
It's somewhat hard to comprehend
yeah.
to have two people from two different timelines and then change the original timeline, and then resulting in the destruction of the alternate timeline. I wanted like it to show that the return to normal, like a return back to the normal world, requires sacrifice, essentially.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I was like, look, I don't know a lot about time travel, right? None of us really know that much. But in my head, I'm like, every kind of like little thing you change, we have the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
So like you bump into somebody wrong and then it's like maybe their whole life is like totally changed. So then if you have two of the same people essentially talking to each other, like back and forth from two realities, I'm like, I don't even know where to like A, how to write that, or B, what that would look like. Because then if one person says something, then something else is going to change in this person's life. So it's just like that back and forth, right?
Yes. Honestly, dystopia obviously implies that alternate Ben's life has turned out pretty worse compared to original Ben.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there is no alternate Jonathan, because basically science didn't really evolve that well during the alternate 20th century.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It was just like a hard thing to like comprehend. But even though you did, you kind of took a complicated subject almost. Like I'm not a science person. I'm very much an English girl myself. But even I was kind of able to understand like some of the history. It was kind of like a mix of the science, the history.
Yes.
But it was digestible. So I appreciated that. we're going to be moving on to your poem, The Tides of Spring, which two very different, right? You have one about love and nature and beauty, and then one about science and time travel. So it's really cool that you're able to kind of write in these, and write very well also in these two very different genres. How is that for you? Do you pick favorites, or is it just like different brains for different things?
Honestly, I prefer science fiction all the way.
Yeah.
I thought, to be honest, the poem was, I wrote it in literature and culture with my professor, Dr. Thomas, about someone who I haven't gotten reconnected in for a while.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry?
I wanted it to be like, I was kind of romantically interested in this one person, and the disconnection just felt like the end of spring and the end of beauty. And I wanted the reconnection with another friend to be like the return of spring. Like, I don't know, for a story, like he dies, but he ends up resurrecting himself.
For that literature and culture class, or is this just?
And it was a poem and self-analysis on how I created the story, what I was inspired by, what type of techniques I used, like imagery, similes, verses. I did delivery, like for each line there was a certain amount of syllables. It declined when it started at 14 or something like that, and then it declined into like 10 or something. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't read it in a while, but then it comes back with the return of spring. So by that too.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah. I would just like, it was just a beautifully written, and I kind of, because I read your longer story first, and then I wrote, and then this one after, and it was just really interesting the way you're able to obviously write very different things very well, but also some of the similarities of, like, you say, like the way you describe things.
Yes.
You do it in a very well thought out kind of like you can really picture who you're talking about in your head, which is a very hard thing for some student writers to do. So you do it very well. Like, My Love's Beauty truly once was serene, soothing spring. Her long brown hair styled like flowers sprouting from the ground. Her glowing face placed onto a graceful Grecian goddess like Athena or Aphrodite or Ariadne. So are you Ariadne? So are you really into Greek mythology? Is that like an interest, or just threw it in there?
I love Percy Jackson. That which was about Greek mythology, especially with the second book referencing a lot of the Odyssey by Homer.
Yeah.
And about the disconnecting, I had like this emotion inside, and like writing it out helped get rid of it.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of kind of poets are some of the saddest people I feel like in history, where they almost make you feel your pain when they're writing it. But in this one, it's not quite that. You have like that little bit of sadness of that one special spring went away forever.
Yes.
But then, it kind of
becomes optimistic.
Yeah. You have like it's like the light, dark, and then light again.
Yes.
And that's love, like the good times, bad times. Yeah.
Love lasts forever. That's one of the main morals I wanted. I kind of realized it now. And I didn't want it to be sad. I wanted it to like have like the main character, like the speaker, what's that word? Endure and recover, and like be able to move on from this tragic event. Yeah,
which I feel like you definitely accomplished that. And then I loved at the end you threw in that little bit of the science fiction part. as Darwin said, she changed to thrive in such warm weather.
Yes, like
So I definitely saw a piece of you coming out there.
Yes, Charles Darwin specifically about his theory of evolution through natural selection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that was a really nice piece. So now we are going to transition to my favorite part of the episode, the hot takes. So Andrew, what is your art hot take? Let's hear it.
Honestly, in terms of actual pictorial art, honestly, I think Andy Warhol was one of the best because
Really?
showed that art wasn't just, especially in modern art, pop art, it wasn't just for a certain specific group of people. It was for everyone because everyone liked Campbell's Soup, for example, or everyone loved Marilyn Monroe as an actress.
So it's almost kind of like relatable.
Yes, it's masses.
Interesting. So what do you have to say? Because I know in our last episode, one of the hot takes was that we don't appreciate or go back to older artists and kind of like analyze that and take that into what we do.
Yeah.
Because art has evolved so much over the years with the culture and with the the time and what's been going on in politics and all of these things. It's kind of represented an umbrella of light and dark and issues and love and all of these things. And so he was saying that you should be kind of going back in time, embrace it.
Yes.
He used the saying, good artists steal.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I agree with him, honestly. And I did like a little modern art painting, like abstract. It was based off Piet Mondrian's very simplistic art styles, especially with the compositions in like red and blue. You know those, the one that squares.
Yep.
They're very famous. I'll show it to you right now. It's very ambiguous, but I originally designed it to look like, I originally wanted it to look like Spaceship Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it does give that science feel.
Very abstract, however, so you can like make up the outline, but it's not exactly representation. You can see a little bit of a globe here, but I was inspired by Mondrian's ability to turn like the New York City grid into like basically lines and lights. That's all.
Very good. Pretty good hot take, if in my opinion. I don't know. I just like some of the funky art. I went to like a wax museum a couple of weeks ago, and I saw like it was like a life-size like soup can representing, and then it had like Andrew Warhol next to him.
Oh yeah, and I actually have a piece of art that Andy Warhol produced. It's music. It's music. He was known to produce the first Velvet Underground record.
Mm-hmm.
And he produced it in hang on. This is the album I was talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yep, Velvet Underground, Nico. He also signed it right here. Print for the album.
That's his actual like signature?
No, not really, but it's a print of the album.
That's so cool.
So,
well, alrighty. That about wraps it up for this episode of Aeolus Unveiled. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciated our talk. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Guys, I will see you next month for the next Artist of the Month and for our next maybe surprise episodes. So stay tuned and I will see you later. Bye.